What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Inclement Emerald Challenger mode. We're at the end of Victory Road. This is going to be one of the hardest battles yet. This is another optional double battle, but you already know we don't take the easy way out. So without further ado, let's get it. If you think my videos are cool, drop a like, comment, and consider subscribing. It helps me out so much. I appreciate all you guys. I really like the double battles a lot. There's not that many of them, but they're always cool. They're always challenging, and they're fun to watch too. So here we go. They're going to send out Machamp and Pinsir, and I start with Zapdos as always and Tyranitar. Tyranitar whips up the Sandstream on the first turn of the battle, which adds a solid 3 minutes time to the full video length. So Zapdos starts with Reflect. Machamp and Pinsir are both physical attackers. We're going to bait two close combats coming out of both of them into my Pokemon that can resist that the most, which in this case is going to be Metagross. He doesn't type resist due to being Steel and Psychic, but he does have a crazy physical defense. Plus the Reflect, switching out the Tyranitar into the Metagross, he should be able to soak up that damage from the close combat as much as possible. It's the best option here. Machamp, especially Mega Machamp and Mega Pinsir, have crazy attack. So we'll see how this works out. Pinsir goes first with the close combat. We'll see if Metagross can take that. Does a little less than half. About much as expected. Pinsir's defenses are going to get lowered, and unfortunately Zapdos was not able to get the Reflect up in time to beat that first close combat, but we are going to have it for the second one from Machamp. So let's see, it should be less damage, but it actually does around the same amount. So that just goes to show you how much stronger Machamp is than the Pinsir. Pinsir's close combat with no Reflect and Machamp's close combat with Reflect did about the same damage. So as you can see, Pinsir is more of a speedy type. Pinsir outspeeds most of my Pokemon, but Machamp is really their heavy hitter here. So we've got the Reflect up this turn, that's good. We're going to go for the Volt Switch here on the Pinsir because his Mega Evolution does make him a flying type. It'll be super effective and it's free damage when we get to switch him out. And then Metagross here is going to go for the Zen Headbutt. On Machamp, it's going to be super effective, Psychic versus Fighting type. Pinsir attacks first with Rock Slide. Metagross is going to resist, but Zapdos is going to get hit hard. We've got the Reflect up, so we are able to survive with less than half health. Does barely anything to Metagross, which is good, but Zapdos is flinched, unfortunately. Super unfortunate. Metagross is going to get hit with another close combat, and even with the Reflect up, that's going to be enough to take him out. So that's it for Metagross. Didn't really get to do too much there, unfortunately. So we are not in a good position at all here. Zapdos flinched last turn and wasn't able to do anything. And Metagross got taken out before he was able to do anything either. We've got Reflect up at least, but both of their Pokemon are still pretty much at full health. However, both of their defenses have been lowered from using close combat. So we're going to go ahead and send out our boy Garchomp. Let's go. And you already know Garchomp has a huge advantage in the Sandstorm. That's why we use Tyranitar before Garchomp. We get the Sandstorm whipped up with T-Tar, and then Garchomp comes out to take advantage of that. So we're going to get hit with the Rock Slide, super effective against Zapdos, and he's going to get taken out from that. Unfortunately, Zapdos didn't get to do much while he's on the field. Garchomp is going to avoid it and hit the Hone Claws. You already know this is a great setup move, boosting attack and accuracy, which sets us up great to use Dragon Rush. Garchomp is going to dodge another Fire Punch attack out of Machamp. Now, if you notice, I just dodged 2 moves in a row, is because not only does Garchomp's ability Sandveil boost evasion in the Sandstorm, but I also gave him Bright Powder, which is a held item that also increases evasion. So Garchomp is pretty hard to hit. So here we send out Volcarona for a specific reason. I know it might not look like the best type matchup, specifically knowing that they know Rock Slide, but that's exactly what we need them for. We're going to bait the Rock Slide out of them and switch them into someone that will resist because Garchomp is who we really need as our attacker on the field. So Garchomp will resist a Rock Slide. We're going to send in Tyranitar, who will also resist the Rock Slide, and that's exactly what they go for. Rock Slide, both will resist. Does minimal damage to Tyr, even that gets the critical hit, doesn't do very much damage. Doesn't do any damage to Garchomp. Reflect is still up. We hit the Dragon Rush. It's a boosted attack and accuracy from the Hone Claws, and that's going to be enough to take the Pinsir out. Let's go. See, that's why playing to your opponent, predicting what your opponent is going to do and making those bait and switches is super important in double battles, and that's what I love about double battles so much. And as you can see, Machamp goes for the Fire Punch on Tyranitar, which would have been the Volcarona slot, but Tyranitar is going to resist that as well. So strategies like bait and switch are so crucial for double battles. Next, they send out Licky Licky. I know this is a goofy ass looking Pokemon, but this thing can give you a lot of problems if you let him. So here we got Tyranitar back on the field. I debate going for the Earthquake, which would do huge damage to everyone, but I want to protect my Garchomp as much as I can. So we're going to opt to go for the Stone Edge and also Mega Evolve here. And with Garchomp, we're just going to keep Dragon Rushing him down. Once you set up that Horn Claws, it's such a good and easy strat. You can just mash Dragon Rush for the rest of the battle and it will always hit. So Tyranitar is going to go ahead and Mega Evolve. Garchomp is now the fastest Pokemon on the field, moves first with Dragon Rush, and this is going to one-shot Machamp. He's going to go down to a Dragon Rush. Let's go. I can't stress enough that Horn Claw strat. So Tyranitar goes for the Stone Edge. It's going to hit for neutral damage. Let's see how much we can do here. It's at least half, a little bit more than half. So Licky goes for the Muddy Water. It's going to hit Tyranitar for super effective damage, but doesn't do very much at all. The Sandstorm is up, and that increases Tyranitar's special defense by 1.5 multiplier boost. And it doesn't do very much damage to Garchomp either. We are lucky that we didn't get any accuracy drops from the Muddy Water, because that could have been detrimental. That would have been really bad. So they send out Shianotic. You already know I can't pronounce these names. Shianotic? Shianotic, the little mushroom guy. You know who I'm talking about. All right, here. So he is a fairy type. So this could be a problem for Garchomp here, and Tyranitar as well, being a dark type. So here we're going to go for the Dragon Rush on Licky and finish him off, and that's going to be lights out for him. It's always the best strat in double battles is to just, I mean sometimes, most of the time, is to just get one of the Pokemon out of the way as soon as you can that turn, because that's one less Pokemon you're taking damage from that turn. So Shiinotic is going to hit us with the most broken move in all of Pokemon ever, Spore. The 100% accuracy auto sleep move. The most broken Pokemon move ever, Spore. So Garchomp gets slapped. He's as good as dead probably. So here we go. What can we do? They're going to send out Pachirisu next. And we're going to go for Stone Edge at a Tyranitar and get their Spore user out as soon as we can. Garchomp's going to be asleep for probably 6 turns. Pachirisu goes for Super Fang. And this is a move that always does half damage. Tyranitar's going to go for Stone Edge, and we miss. You can't hit them all. Shiinotic fires back with a Spore again. Another Spore. And Tyranitar is slept once again. So here we go. We're just going to be sitting on the field for about 5 turns, hoping that they don't take us out. Just hoping to wake up. Nothing we can do about it. I don't want to switch anyone in because they're going to just get put to sleep too. So here we're just going to mash our attacks. And Garchomp actually wakes up. You know, sometimes I do get lucky after all. We hit the Dragon Rush, and would you look at that? It actually doesn't do very much damage at all. So he's going to go for Nuzzle. It's just going to do damage considering Tyranitar's already asleep. It can't paralyze. So Shiinotic goes for Dazzling Gleam. It's going to be super effective, but luckily it doesn't do very much damage at all. To Tyranitar anyways, but Garchomp is going to get taken out by that, unfortunately. And the Reflect is going to wear off as well. Now, if you notice how little damage my strongest Pokemon's attack did to their Pachirisu, with his moves being Nuzzle and Super Fang, we can come to the conclusion that this is a support Pokemon, definitely. The Pachirisu is their support Pokemon. So at this point, I view the Pachirisu as the least threatening, and this Shiinotic has got to go. He is their Spore user. We cannot win if all my Pokemon are asleep. So we move first, luckily. Our newly IV trained Hydreigon is going to hit him with a Fire Blast, and this should be enough to one-shot him, but not quite. Super unfortunate. And I can tell you what, next turn he's going to go for a Spore on us, I can guarantee you. Unless Pachirisu paralyzes us first, which works out perfectly because I would much rather be paralyzed than slept. Tyranitar actually is going to go ahead and wake up, hit the Earthquake, and take the Shiinotic out. Perfect. Perfect. This works out perfect. Hydreigon has Levitate, so it is not going to hit him. It's going to be super effective against Pachirisu, and still look at the unbelievably small amount of damage that did. This is the bulkiest Pachirisu I've ever seen. It's crazy. It's a little squirrel, little blue squirrel thing. He doesn't look very strong, does he? Nah, Pachirisu is goated. But anyway, we've turned the tide of the battle. We got rid of their most threatening Pokemon, the Spore user. We cannot get put to sleep anymore. Tyranitar is still somewhat not really healthy, but he's still alive. You know, we got a great type advantage here. Pachirisu is going to use another Nuzzle. It doesn't do very much damage at all. We're going to get paralyzed. You know, it's better than being slept. I'll take paralysis all day long. Tyranitar is still going to move first somehow, even after being paralyzed. with a super effective crunch is going to almost be enough to take out the Gothitelle. So he's going to hit us with Flatter. Flatter is a move that increases special attack but also confuses. So it's like Swagger but for special attack, I guess. Let's see if he can fight through it, and he does. We beat the confusion, we go for Dark Pulse, and that's going to be enough to finish off the one on the right. So here, if you notice, I'm just focusing the Pokemon that are on the right slot because Pachirisu, I've determined, is not much of a threat. Is the least threatful on their team. He's the support Pokemon. With the right combinations, he can be a nuisance, definitely. But now that we've got the battle just down to Pachirisu, he can't do crap against us. It's a 2v1. We've got this battle in the bag at this point. So all we got to do is fight through the paralysis, and we're going to get the dub one way or another eventually. See, he literally can't do any damage to us. Hydreigon's going to fire off his most powerful move, Draco Meteor, and we'll see if that's enough to take this thing out. The bulkiest Pachirisu I've ever seen, and it's going to be enough, so let's go. Hydreigon getting the job done. And that's going to be it for this one, guys. This was a tough one. This was definitely a tough one. I hope you guys enjoyed this one because I did. I definitely had fun with this one. That's why I always go for the optional double battles. It's more of a challenge and it's way more fun. And it's more fun to watch too. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. It helps me out so much. Drop a like, comment. Thanks so much, and see you next time.